right, this is the recording for Force and Motion, lesson 3.2. You can see that we are looking at how equal and opposite forces affect collisions and velocity, meaning how far something goes or how fast it goes. And so we're going to do that with a variety of things. First thing you're going to see is the warm-up in Amplify Activity 1. We are going to do an initial model, and then you're going to end up revising it in the number 5 activity down here for homework. So when you click on that, it's going to bring you to this first activity. And like I said, it's in the modeling tool. All right, so here's activity 1, and you will see there is the link right here for the modeling tool, and it instructs you just to do your initial ideas. And when it opens, you're going to see there are 3 boxes, and loading. So there's before force, during force, and after force. Before force, we can see we have 2 objects, B and C, and we can see there's a collision, and then after force. B is moving with medium velocity towards C that is not moving. They collide, and then it looks like B then moves in the opposite direction with medium velocity, and then C gets pushed and starts moving with a small velocity or slow velocity. Your goal is to take force arrows, and you need to think about which size, and you need to put them in the during force box and decide what amount of force and what direction the force is to get this kind of reaction. And remember, this is just your initial thoughts because you're going to revise this before you turn it in at the end. There is a hands-on activity. This is an Edpuzzle. Since we obviously can't do hands-on activities together, Mr. Livingood filmed a demonstration of him doing it. And so you can watch that, and then there's some questions embedded throughout. And so that is an Edpuzzle. So you're going to do that and click here on this link. And then activity 3 in Amplify is the simulation. And so when you go down here, you're going to see that it is linked. And while that loads, when you scroll down, you're going to notice that there is a data table down here. There's actually going to be 2. So there's this one, page 2 also has one, because there's going to be 2 modes in the simulation that you're going to use. The first one is 3.2 same mass collisions. So we're going to do some collisions with 2 objects of the same mass. And so when you look here, you're going to see up in the top left corner in the menu, you're going to scroll down, and it says 3.2 same mass collisions. So you'll click on that, and you'll see that you have 2 objects with the same mass. You're going to want to set it up according to the data table down here. So trial 1 shows that object A needs to be moving 5 centimeters per second to the right. So you'll go here and click on object A, and you'll see it is moving already 5 centimeters to the right. Well, 5 centimeters per second to the right. And then object B is not moving at all, so it's at 0. So you can see here, click, it's already at 0. Then you will run it, and you will see that there is force, and it is the same size force moving in opposite directions. So opposite force, well, same force, opposite direction. That would make more sense. So, and then we can see that A bumps into B, which causes A to stop moving and B to start moving. I'll play it again. A is hitting, B continues. So in my data table, I wrote that object A stopped moving, then object B started moving, and then over here, I got this information by going to Analyze and then looking in this data table. So I know that I started at 5 centimeters per second, and now object A is currently going 0. So then I put 0 centimeters per second. And then over here, I see object B started at 0, but now it's going 5 centimeters per second. And I'm also going to put to the right, or actually I can just put right, just to specify which direction, because I mean, it could have changed directions, but in this case it didn't. And so then you will go through the rest of the trial. So you will go back to build, you will click rebuild. And so for the second one, it says object A is going 5 centimeters per second to the right. So I'm going to go 5 centimeters per second to the right. It's already set that way. And then my object B is 2 centimeters per second to the left. So then my object B, 2 centimeters per second to the left. I'm going to run it. And I see that object A slows down and object B speeds up. I'm going to watch it again. So then I'll go back and I'll say object A slows down and then object B speeds up. And what you can see up here is there is also these options for you to put here. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at Analyze. And I'm going to see that object A started at 5 centimeters per second. And now it's going 2. So 2 centimeters per second to the right. And then object B started at 2 centimeters per second and it is now going 5. So I will put 5 centimeters per second right. And you know what I just realized is that I just did this one wrong because it wanted me to make it go to the left. So actually, all these are going to go down here. I'm glad I just realized that. So I just ran trial 3. There you go. So you can do trial 2 on your own. You can see here that it went, well, actually, you know what? I'll just do it because I already messed it up. So I'll just do it for you. So what I was supposed to do, and see, I hope you all didn't make this mistake. I guess it's too late for me to be doing this. So 5 centimeters per second to the right for A. It's already going that. And then it's 2 centimeters per second to the left. So I was supposed to make it go in the opposite direction. I'm going to run it. Interesting. So let's see, object A changes direction. They both change direction. So they both change direction, and I'm going to look at my Analyze, and I'm going to see that now A is moving 1 centimeter to the left because that negative shows that it changed direction. So 1 centimeter per second left. And then my B is now going 5 centimeters per second to the right. There you go. And so that is our same mass. So these are ones with the same mass. And we also saw same force in opposite directions with our pink arrows. When you click on page 2, and I'm going to move myself out of the way. When you click on page 2, you're going to see you're doing the same simulation, but now we're changing the mode. So now it's going to be 3.2 different mass collisions. So go up here. I'm going to go up to this menu. And I'm going to go different mass collisions. And you're going to do the same thing. You can see I already did the first one. And so it is the same numbers, but we're going to see that there's some different things that happen. And so you can do these on your own. I did the whole first one. And so same idea. We're seeing the same force being exerted in opposite directions during collisions. And then when you click on page 3, you're going to see that there is a box. Ignore this part because it talks about working with a partner, and obviously you're not doing that. But it wants you to talk about the forces that are in a collision. And so I was saying same amount of force exerted in opposite directions. That was kind of a theme that we saw. Alrighty, going back here. Activity 5, if you remember from the beginning, when you go into activity 5, so you're skipping 4. In activity 5, it wants you to go back in to the modeling tool that you used. So whatever you did in the beginning will still be there, and you're going to revise it based on what you just learned. Are your thoughts the same? If not, change them. If they are, hand in what you have. And then that is it.